What's happening, so fam? So it is Tarot Tuesday and we're back at it. We have a couple different decks here today. So we have the Egyptian deck, if you want to go ahead and play with that one. If you want to do traditional tarot, this one. If you want to talk to Ganesha, this one. Isis, this one. And then if you just need shamanic wisdom, it's going to be this blue one right here. The camera does have a little bit of a filter if you're wondering why it looks so weird. It's a little bit dark here today, so I figured I would just do a little quick filter. This is a new style of tarot reading that I have not done up until now, most recently. So we'll see how it goes. Let me know in the comment box below whether or not you like this style of tarot or if you like looking at the table instead. Because that always just helps. I want to create content that works for you. Let's get down to the nitty gritty of it. I already pre-shuffled them. Nothing rigged, promise. If you pick the Egyptian deck, this is what's up for you, okay? Neteru, Neteru. So this is basically showing us that we have a lot of magic in our reality right now. Usually Neteru, Neteru means that you are in a place right now where you're going to be tested. So you might have realized that someone that you haven't talked to in a while has just resurfaced, or maybe there's been this second guessing, like you decided you were going to not do something anymore and then all of a sudden it's represented itself into your reality. That is a lot of the energy of the Neteru energy, okay? So right now you have a lot of power and you're getting to the next level, but one of the main things that you really need to pay attention to is falling into any pit traps. By the way, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Patreon. So the next card that ends up coming out is the Kekui. So right now you're learning how to bend time. Maybe most recently you've been feeling like you're a little bit stuck in your reality, like if stagnant energy is there and you can't really get rid of it. That's usually because you're jumping timelines. So you're being forced to ask yourself, what is it that you really want? And are you going to allow yourself to have it? It's not even like how do you get to it, is whether or not you're going to fall into that vibration and say, I deserve this. I'm going to have it right now. It's going to be part of my reality. The next card is Ta. So Ta reminds us that we are architecting our own reality. The numbers here are essentially infinity, 6, and 1. So this is basically telling you that you're jumping timelines for the highest resonance possible. Now, whether or not you choose to use that energy to bring you to a better place is the question here, right? So you need to just make sure that your thoughts are concrete on knowing that the material universe is going to formulate itself around your desire. Stop trying to manifest anything in the material world. So like if you've been trying to manifest that car, don't manifest a car. Start putting yourself in this experience of, oh, well, what's the vibration that I have to attain for the rest of my physical universe to mold around that? Your vibration that you're trying to attain is not the vibration of owning a car. It's going to be the vibration of saying, okay, I feel really free. I feel really empowered to do whatever it is that I need to do. And then, living in that vibration will allow you to then step deeper and deeper into the experience of having a car that makes you feel free, right? So you need to start orchestrating things for a higher reason and a higher purpose, other than just having the house, having the car, having the money. It has to be something more than that. Finally, we come out with the card of Basset, okay? So Basset's a number 2. Number 2 has to do with staying positive, okay? So Basset, a lot of this year has been reminding us, hey, you need to play. Allow yourself to play. Have fun with life, right? But a lot of times we get bored with the toys that we're playing with. And a lot of times that happens to be material universe type stuff, right? Like you're having a hard time allowing yourself to be beyond the material universe in general. So like right now, we need to understand that if you're feeling bored in your reality, particularly, it's because you're still focusing on matter. If you feel like you have a bunch of raw energy right now, it's because you're still focusing on matter. A great example this particular lesson for me. Most recently, I was practicing Agora shamanism with a monk, and he was teaching me a lot, and there came a point where I wanted to do certain techniques, and when I started going over these techniques with the Agora shaman, I realized that I already knew these techniques my entire life. And it was kind of like a letdown, because in a way I had put my hopes in training with this one, really skilled Agora shaman, an elder, and almost as though like he was going to give me more answers to what I can already attain in my reality. And it was kind of like a bummer when I noticed that I knew these spells because they were from another lifetime, and then I had to come back and be like, okay, I have all this power. I'm kind of like putting my power in the material universe to this extent where like I'm hoping somebody else is gonna like awe me, right, when I can awe myself. So that was like a very eye-opening thing. Stop relying on matter. It doesn't always have to be a car. It can be something like I did, where I was like, oh well, I'm gonna go ahead, train with this one shaman, when I never really had to in the beginning of all of it, because I already know this magic. The final card is Kara. So this is allowing you to step more into your soul, the subconscious energy, only if you allow yourself to play, only if you allow yourself to really architect the timeline that you want to be in by being the timeline that you want to be in. A lot of times we want to step into a higher power, but we don't allow ourselves to have that permission to walk into it, because we think something else has to shift. Rather we get the lover, rather we get like the friend, or we get the business opportunity. You can make anything you want happen right now if you choose to take that action and make those things happen for yourself. So that's the first deck, the Egyptian deck. The next deck is coming up is this one right here, the Traditional Tarot. I feel like I want to shuffle this one a little bit. Okay. So if you pick this deck, you have the energy of the King of Swords. So right now you have understood that there's something in your reality that absolutely needs to be kind of like taken advantage of, or like asserted in your reality. So just keep doing what you're doing. If you had that epiphany most recently, that's absolutely going to be beautiful for you if you keep walking in this direction. But recognize that even though you're walking in this direction, this will be unsatisfying after some time. So you're going to get a lot of like riches, a lot of rewards, a lot of things coming to you, but you need to make sure that you don't fall into any traps of thinking to yourself that, oh, walking on this path is going to get me what I want, and then I'm going to be happy 100%, because you're still somewhat manifesting in the material world. So you need to make sure that you're in this vibration of saying, okay, I know I have to take action now. I'm going to take action now. And the King of Swords, so a lot of sword energy has been coming up the last couple weeks, especially on Patreon. So you have to make sure that like you cut through whatever it is that you need to make happen. Rather you need to hustle a little bit more, wake up earlier in the morning, or you need to cut out somebody from your life. Whatever it is that you got to do, that's just get it done. But don't fall into the trap of saying, once this gets accomplished, then all of a sudden everything's going to be like a-okay, amazing, fulfilled, because this universe is constantly changing. So you don't want to fall in that trap of saying like, when I get this one thing, then I'll be happy. Remember, you are happy now, and you're getting things as a byproduct of being in that power, being happy with yourself. The next card that comes out is the Ace of Pentacles, which again goes with the Nine of Cups, basically saying that you're going to get paid really, really well in a short amount of time. Don't you worry about it. Just keep making the due diligence that you need to, and everything's going to happen. This is the final judgment here. So this is 6. Oh no, this is the Hierophant. So this right here is basically reminding you that you're in this higher vibration overall with yourself. So you need to make sure that you are embracing the energy of the Lovers, the energy of the Hierophant, like allowing yourself to marry and even reconsolidate anything that might be uneven in your reality. Sometimes you need to reconsolidate your own thoughts with yourself. Sometimes you need to reconsolidate your own goals with yourself. Sometimes you need to reconsolidate your house, like cleaning, something like that. But do whatever it is that's necessary for you to get to the next level of being married or being in love with yourself. Just a lot of like glamour magic. So if you want to go ahead on the internet, Google, and look up whatever you can about glamour magic, which is really good for like seducing people, and also kind of like seducing yourself to become a better version of yourself. That would be the perfect thing for you right now if you pick this tarot deck. The only thing is, like, you're going to feel like you're out of energy in certain points. So you're going to be doing a lot of this work, and then all of a sudden you're going to feel like, I don't know, I don't feel like I want to do this anymore. It's so much work. Why does it have to be this way? Those are all thoughts that are going to create more of the same in your reality. So make sure you do not fall into the trap of, being pessimistic. Keep the gas and the energy that you need to get to the next level. That's the main thing you really need to pay attention to. And finally, do not be afraid to walk away from anything that does not serve you, because that is the vibration that's happening for you right now. If you do this, you'll stop being the King of Swords and you become the King of Pentacles, which will get all the treasures and the dreams that you're looking for. Really good energy right here. Second deck here is all about like taking action, making sure you become the person that you want to be. The first deck is all about jumping timelines, going over any tests that might be there that might be holding you back. The next one we're going to tap into is the Ganesha deck. So if you were looking for Ganesha's wisdom, here we go. If you picked a Ganesha deck, he's telling you right off the bat, drive. You need to have drive in what you do and everything that you're going for at this current moment. Do not mess up that drive, particularly because your drive right now is being driven by the power of love. So if you allow yourself to step into this vibration of saying, okay, I'm going to own my love. I'm going to start loving my life. I'm going to start introducing more love vibration into my reality. Like treating yourself, catering to yourself, whatever it is that you need to do that shows love for your reality. That's what you got to do right now. That's going to be the drive for you. So for me personally, it's been realizing that I need to take care of myself a little bit more. So I've been doing a lot more acupuncture. I've been doing more cupping. I'm not somebody who goes out and like drinks or anything like that. So, and I don't really buy a lot of things either. So it's kind of like this give and take where I was sitting there and I'm like, well, I'm really bored. Okay, if I'm bored, then what should I be doing if I don't want to go to a restaurant or anything like that? How about I take care of myself? How about I go do acupuncture instead of going to a restaurant, especially in Detroit, because a meal can cost you like anywhere upwards to like $100 depending on where you go. So you can, if you reprioritize your drive with love, that $100 you can use at a Detroit restaurant or any restaurant, right? You can use to like better yourself, $100 towards your acupuncture, you know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be always spending money either. It can just be the fact that like you are feeling fat, right? Or you're feeling like overweight in some way, like maybe in your legs. Start showing yourself love. Go on walks, you know what I mean? Take your dogs on walk. Show both of you that you love like each other that much. And that'll be like one of the things that really unlocks a lot of magic for you. You also have the vibration of prosperity, 45. There's a lot of changes that are happening in your reality right now based off of your intuition. So you need to make sure that you're owning that vibration. You're working with it to get you to the next level. Because if you're not, you're going to notice that there are a lot of struggles in your reality in general. So surrender to that power. Allow yourself to just kind of like be happy with what's happening right now. Know that you're prosperous. Keep living in love. Do everything out of love, because that's really what is necessary to unlock more of your splendor, more of the material universe formulating itself. And this is kind of the vibration that's been coming up in the previous cards, where like all you need to do is focus on your drive and fuel it with love, and you're going to see splendor manifest in the sense of prosperity. And all you have to do is fall into that. That's just one main lesson that you need to work with. If you do this, you'll have a great personal transformation. 35, which is the kingly number, 3 creating an environment that empowers you, Artha. And finally, you're cultivating with 37, 3 being the creation of 7, harmony. So you're cultivating a higher reality that is absolutely going to help you reach the higher levels that you're looking for. You just have to give yourself permission to do that. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Patreon. Thank you. Sending you lots of love. So we're going to dive into the Isis deck. Divine Sisterhood. If you ended up picking the Isis deck, you're basically being called into this vibration now to spend time with your community, okay? And that's not always like finding new people. It could be like building a community of some sort. I definitely have been having these thoughts lately as well of like building a community, especially more so now that I'm walking more and more away from healing. I want to give other top-notch healers the opportunity to kind of like benefit from the work that I've been able to put out there. So if you're one of those people that's been having similar ideas, maybe making a collective, maybe spending time with your family a little bit more, that's all the divine sisterhood energy. The Queen of Heaven comes up. So when the Queen of Heaven comes up, she's reminding you that you have a bunch of blessings coming, especially in terms of the element of air or the skies. So air has to do with your mind. It has to do with your solar plexus. It has to do with like depression, anxiety, creativity, thoughts in general. So you're getting a lot of blessings in terms of thoughts. Pay attention to your thoughts. If you're being told to create something, don't put it for tomorrow. Do it now. Because if you can allow yourself to do that, you're going to see that you end up thinking more clearly, living more clearly, because your mind is creating things more clearly than it ever has before. But when you take that, because the solar plexus is tied to your subconscious energies, that energy right there is always going to unlock truths that need to be analyzed. And some of those truths may not be easy for you to like grasp and work with, but it is a great vibration for you overall. If you allow yourself to analyze those truths, allow your mind to be accepting of those blessings, you're going to see a miracle of Isis, or a miracle of healing, a miracle of transformation, a miracle of rebirth happen for you. And that can be just internal, or it can be external in your reality. But this is part of like a higher vibration of initiation for you. You're being called into your magical rights and your magical power so you can become more of who you are. So you want to make sure that you're not getting in your own way. You know, a lot of times when we're going through these shifts of like, especially air energy, you might feel like you're going crazy. It usually presents itself as like a healing crisis of some sort, because you're being forced to analyze things. And if you're resistance to the analysis, you're never going to get down to the truth of what's happening for you. These two chakras right here on this particular spread is really tied to your solar plexus and your throat chakra. So 5, 6, 7, 8, you end up transcending when you master these two chakras overall. So let the divine masculine fully take form and heal. That's what's really being brought into this vibration for you. And if you do so, you'll have a proper burial for your own freedom. So the last two cards come out, and they're Osiris energies, which are energies of death and rebirth. So you're going through a transformative phase, an initiation in your own magic. If it gets like rough at first, just give yourself the opportunity to just breathe and know that this is all happening because it's part of your blessings. A lot of times we get blessings and we don't realize that they are, because we want to hold on to the old instead of seeing the new that's happening for our realities. So the first deck of the Egyptians was talking all about the vibration of timeline jumping. The second one is all about assuming your power and taking action. The third one with Ganesha is all about surrendering into a higher drive of love, and that'll cultivate the things that you're looking for. And then this Isis deck, the one that we most recently did, is all about a magical initiation for you. Okay. Now you can listen to this as a general whole here. Like if you're seeing that you have a little bit in every deck, you're jumping timelines for the higher good of yourself. Work from a place of love while taking action, because you're stepping into a new version of yourself for rebirth. That's what each of the decks are basically culminating together if that's one of the vibrations you want to tap into. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to read the shamanic deck. So here's the energy again of healing, and this one's healing with community. So maybe meditating with a few people. You can come to the Quantum Reiki classes that I've been doing, or any of the other workshops that I do on Patreon. This is a good place to kind of like start working with other people, growing with other people. Like last week, I taught you guys how to do like shadow, like psychic training, right? Like how to see someone's deepest secrets without ever having to like really interrogate that person. You just need to be able to use your psychic power to see what's there and deliver the facts, separating yourself from your ego, right? So you can do a lot of that type of magic when you're working with other people. That's definitely something I've been doing at home with a couple of my friends, which we've been doing like fire magic. We've been doing like other kinds of like elemental alchemy, learning how to do it together as a group. Because when you work together in general in a group like setting, you're not doing all the work by yourself. You're doing it with other people who then can amplify the experience that you're going through. And it's very cool when you can all like sync up like that. A lot of healing energy. So if you pick this shamanic deck, you're being asked right now to heal the earth while you're learning how to grow yourself. This is a great vibration to learn in the Antojai neurocodes. If you haven't practiced any of those yet, those are really awesome to get that vibration out of. But allow yourself just to sit down with the heart of the planet and give your energy to yourself, essentially, as you funnel it through the planet, because everything is you anyway. So you don't want to like drain your energy. You want to recycle your energy. You're putting it out into the world so it can come back to you. And when you start kind of like seeing that vibration circulating in your mind's eye, you're going to notice that you become more empathic. You can kind of start seeing or predicting things. You'll become like clairvoyant or clairsentient. You'll have psychic powers to some degree because of the fact that you're not allowing your energy only to be consolidated into your own reality. It's a part of the world, okay? And just know that while you're doing that, you're protected. The mother bear is a very protective energy. There's nothing you need to worry about whatsoever when it comes to your general consciousness of power. But do know that sometimes this is going to be a little bit intense for you to heal the world, because when you're healing the world and you're experiencing group work, sometimes you entangle yourself with other people and some of the magic that they may be going through. So like if you're doing group work, one of my friends wasn't doing too hot a couple weeks ago, and like we all felt it through the meditation, but we all compensated for that. If you're healing the planet, you might notice that like you start getting messages of like things that are going to happen, and some of it might be kind of sad. You know what I mean? It just happens when you're starting to amplify your energy. Now, if you're not somebody who's willing to amplify your powers and then, you know, learn the double-edged sword of having a more psychic experience, this is not something you want to get into, because you can't turn it off once it's on. So I wake up a lot of times in the morning and I'm like, oh, something's happening in the planet right now. Something's going to happen today. And turns out like rather something happened overnight, or something is happening as I'm waking up, and it plays out during the day, rather in the news or some other place, that there's going to be like some world shift or environmental shift. So you can't avoid this once it comes to you. But if this is the path that you want to go to, all you have to do is heal the world, know you're protected, and try to do some community magic with other people. That's going to teach you a lot of lessons. It's going to help you to get to the next level, and it's going to allow you to grow and open up your consciousness to the things that are most important in your reality. So those are all really good energies. Flipping this over, all the energy that's being taught here right now is for you to step into this higher vibration of knowing who you are with your soul. Okay, a lot of soul energy is coming up for a lot of people right now, and that's the final judgment. No, sorry, this is 10, 5, 6, this is 16. This has to do with the tower. So this is like the tree, basically. This is a vibration that allows you to really step into who you are in your life and come down to the most important conclusions that are necessary for you to come out on top. So that's the reading so far. The final recap, if I'm reading just the last cards of every deck, is you're jumping timelines. So just focus your energy on what it is that you want to jump into. Take action. And if you take action, you're going to see the rewards, even if you feel a little bit defeated right now, like things aren't panning out for you. Allow yourself to cultivate things from love and do things from that drive. So you're going to notice that if you're working from a space of love, you'll have the energy to get things accomplished more quickly versus trying to do it for greed or for anything else. You need to make sure that you're working from a place of love, surrendering into that, and seeing your prosperity come back to you. Allow yourself to go through this initiation magic that's happening so you can rebirth yourself. It is healing your divine masculine. Remember, if you're being tested in any areas of your power, do not fall prey to those tests, and allow yourself to really know your consciousness in general. Allow yourself to get to know your soul for who you really are. A lot of people are stepping into this vibration of wanting to get to know their soul purpose. And I've said it a million times before. In order for you to really get to know your soul purpose, you need to be 100% honest with yourself. You need to be able to say, what are the main core things that matter the most to me? And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work from that vibration. So I'm sending you all the love. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll catch you in the next episode.